Everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made. That's WORIMI. And welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Okay, I'm just splitting the deck to give it a bit of a cleansing. I'm just going to say I'm reading this book at the moment, Journey of Souls. Absolute fascinating book. Might be seeking out a hypnotherapist who's actually, I know one that is trained in this sort of field. So, might be making an appointment before too much longer. Really, really fascinating and interesting. Okay, what do I want to have a look at in this reading? I just first of all want to reiterate, gosh, aren't we all exhausted? I'm going to say we're exhausted because we are in this incredibly compressed timeline at the moment. We're going through a timeline that usually would have been played out over about 3 to 4 years, but it's actually playing out over about 3 or 4 months. We're already a month in, so we've got 3 to go. So it's and the compression will actually cause the unraveling, because if what is currently happening, if you think of all the bombshells that keep getting dropped on a daily basis, if they were actually getting dropped one a month instead of 5 a day, a lot of what is happening would have just gone under the radar. It would have been gentle change. It would have been the frog in the pot that starts off cold and then is brought up to heat. What's actually happening is the water's in the pot, the frogs are being dropped in, and the heat's been turned on absolute maximum, and it's just the frogs are all going to be leaping out. How's that for an analogy on a Wednesday afternoon? So I'm just going to put it out there. Please, deep breath. Do what you need to do to get yourself through this next period. I'm just going to say it's going to be ghastly. If it means you need to take advantage of a food pantry to save money to pay electricity or whatever bills, take advantage of the food pantry. People that put the food in those pantries can afford to put the food in those pantries. So please, don't be a martyr. Reach out and take the help that you can get. If there is issues with Meals on Wheels in your area, hey, how about forming a cooperative where you actually cook and pre-package little what do they call them? Chinese takeaway containers of food. Doesn't need to be expensive meals, but they can be highly nutritious to replace these services that are being dismantled. If you need to take in a boarder in your spare room, or you rent your house out and become a boarder in somebody else's house, like mind, I must admit, I'm going to put it out there, of like mind, then so be it. Do whatever it is that you can do to get through this period in time. So I'm also going to say as well, at the same, keep your vibration up, breathe, let it go, write down what actions you can take, let them go absolutely wild, as in crazy options, because you might find one of those crazy options actually rings true for you, and it might be the option that you are drawn to to get through this stage. That being said, do not feed those that are stewing in the low hatred, embattled projection, narcissistic energy. Just don't feed them. What's happening is they're stewing around in the bottom of the sludge pond, and if you drop down into their energy, they will just and tear you apart, and that feeds them. If there is nothing there for them to feed on, they will waste away. How's that for another analogy? It must be the day of the analogies. They will waste away because they don't actually like each other. They've got nothing amongst themselves to feed on, and they will find themselves wasting away. So just make sure you stay in the high vibration, and do what you need to do to get through to this period, because I'm really feeling like 3 months 3 months and then the unraveling will have occurred. I keep getting 3 months and then 3 years. So I think what's going to happen is the unraveling will occur within by the end of the 3 months. And then the next for the 3 years, which takes us to the next supposed 4-year presidential election cycle. There will be an interim government, and then there will actually be real elections. But it will take that 3 years to clean out the debris, clean out the garbage. And I do feel that this interim government will be made up of potential retired, honourable military leaders, perhaps past presidents or past high office officials. And I'm looking at people like Barack Obama, Pete Buttigieg, possibly Harris in as Biden's substitute. I don't, that's just how I feel. And touch wood, I hope it comes to pass. However, what I want to have a look at the moment, cracks are already starting in the GOP with what is happening. Oh, and who did I see? I saw the devil and justice. I want to have a look at the unraveling itself. So show me, I'm using the Gilded Tarot Royale, show me the unraveling. What do we need to know aside from protecting ourselves? Show me the energy. I'm going to do an energies layout which is slightly different. Show me the energy of this unraveling. And part of it, already seeing it, first of all, there's a huge awakening. There'll be about 17% of the population that they'll kiss the feet of the golden calf until they're put in their graves. Just let them go, leave them alone, ignore them. There is nothing you can do for them. They're never going to come around, but there is a huge element that suddenly the price of gas and electricity is going up, but eggs aren't going down, and they've lost their job, or they know someone who's lost their job, their health fund benefits are being affected, whatever is happening to them, they're getting a massive wake-up call and going, this is what we promised. And then as the cards yesterday said, there will be a massive red line that is crossed, and I think that red line will be Felon 45 promising troops or military equipment to Russia. They're already trying to change the rhetoric of who is the bad guy in this conflict, blaming Ukraine, trying to make Ukraine out as the bad guy. Okay, let's have a look. Show me the energies of this fracturing that is starting to occur within the GOP. Now, it'll happen within the Dem Party as well. What you'll find is the likes of Bernie Sanders, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, David Hogg, Raskin, White House. There'll be a number of Democrats that will break away from the old school Democrats that were led by Pelosi. I don't know what side Hakeem's going to end up on. We'll see how that goes. And before you say, but the Dems aren't doing anything, every time someone says to me, the Dems aren't doing anything, they're not making enough noise, they should be pushing back, they should be doing this, I keep getting, give them enough rope. And I'm not talking about the Dems getting enough rope, I'm talking about the fact that the Dems aren't pushing back is giving the GOP more rope. And we know what happens when you're given more rope. Okay, so show me the energies. Okay, you want to stop there. Show me the energies of the fracturing within the GOP. Okay, straight out of the block. The poor choices, the delusion, the smoke and mirrors. This is the energy they're stewing in at the moment. The choices based on greed and addiction and power hungry and you name it. So poor choices, vanity, whatever it is that is appealing to their low vibration, empty soul energy, that's where they're at the moment. So they're caught up in this delusion of delusion of being in these energies, delusion of wealth and grandeur and strength, etc. It will catch up with them. Right, here is an inspirational female coming forward with a new plan. I wonder if it's Liz Cheney or whether it's somebody else within the Republican Party that starts the break. They're an inspirational female who's bringing forward a powerful message of a new plan for the party to go forward. Okay. This is the Lindsey Graham's, oh gosh, you know who I'm talking about. Lindsey Graham, who like 3 weeks ago was talking to Zelensky on a talk show and saying how much he admired Zelensky and he was the hero and that he needed to be blah blah blah. And the other day, after that pathetic display in the White House, came out and was bashing Zelensky, and it was ghastly. It was ghastly. This is Lindsey Graham energy. This is the new energy coming forward, led by an inspirational female. Okay, behind the scenes, we have the action being taken by legislators, potentially. So the energy behind the scenes. There's a powerful male here as well. That is, so there's two sides to this. Okay, let's see where this goes. The Star of Hope and Healing. These are actually really good cards. There's some big leadership energy stepping up here. Yeah, huge leadership energy. Bringing forth a new plan, a new beginning, a new start, a new passion. So I did ask about the split. I didn't ask about will it split because I know it will. Right. At the moment, they are so out of this star, the rising star, whomever this rising star is, but it's also about a finding of a moderation, of a rediscovery of who they are, getting rid of the toxicity. There might be some feeling out, or it's just simply they're not there yet. They're looking at options. They're looking at who they can draw on, who they can harvest. If you can hear some whinging, that's my dog Spot under the table there, roaming about, probably running on the beach, except that he's deaf, so there's no point in me rousing on him at all. So we'll just let him play it out. The energy hanging over. Look at all these wands. Wands being about planning and come on, Spotty. I'm going on about. It's all right, hang on, I'll pause you and go and wake him up. Hang on a sec. Right, hey, I'll just bring you up and make sure I'm recording. Yes, I am. So let's keep going. So the karma hanging over is this taking a higher position with this Ace of Wands. So you've got both this feminine energy and this masculine energy. So it might be a dual power. I won't say a power couple, but the female and male bringing forward this new plan, this new uniting of a portion of the G0P. Taking the higher ground with this new energy, but having to fight back against the attacks from the establishment. Okay. We've got here the Knight of Cups, so the second karma that's hanging over this split is the Knight of Cups, an emotional offer that is being presented, being brought forward. And it's quite a powerful emotional offer. I mean, this horse is rearing up. You don't want to take on a horse that's rearing. There's And it's okay, thank you. It's like a plea to the heart of decent Republicans. And believe it or not, there are some. There are some. I keep saying about 17% will never change, and I think they're the ones that will break off and stick with their current path. But there'll be about, I mean, there's this about double the number who are actually decent Republicans, believe it or not. Okay, the outcome, this Queen of Swords energy. Again, Queen energy. Drawing the sword, a new strategy, a new plan. We've got the doves of peace surrounding her, 5 doves of peace, which 5 in tarot means a challenge or a conflict or an obstacle. But the strategy in regards to this peace obstacle here, a lot of messaging being put out there very quickly. We've got this King of Pentacles energy. Who is this King of Pentacles? And the division. Okay, so I'm just going to say this is the Felon 45 energy that is going to cause a need to make a choice about which way they want to go forward. So absolutely, I do think that the GOP is going to split at the moment. The dominant force is this delusion of power, which is going to be challenged. Now, they may not even call themselves the GOP because GOP is very much a tainted title. They, I'm just going to say moderate conservatives. And as much as we might poo-poo, mutter at them, they are out there. Just as there are moderate Democrats as well. There are extremes and there are moderates. So yes, I do. Yes, the party, is definitely this new leadership coming. There is the split coming, and it is going to force this figure, which is sort of can either be Leon or Felon 45 or a combination of thereof, is going to cause this split. Now, on the bottom of the deck, the here and now energy is the Nine of Swords, the nightmare situation that the US has found itself in. Now, is this because of Russia or is this because of the birth of a new era? It's just a nightmare situation, but there is a new era that is being birthed, and birth is always incredibly painful. Doesn't matter which way you go, whether it's natural or cesarean, both of which are natural. It's just, two different methods depending on the needs of the mother and the needs of the child. Doesn't matter which way birth takes place, it is painful. There is this seeing things from a different point of view, absolutely. And then we've got movement forward. Now, nobody said it was going to be easy, but this is very much about kitchen table discussions and a coming together with an alignment of certain aspects of what needs to be taken forward. We've got the independent female bringing a rebalancing and full illumination on the infighting that is going to bring the GOP as we know it to an end. Okay. I feel the Democratic Party will go a similar way, but I think the GOP will be the first to splinter. And yeah, they are. They're going. The cracks are already showing. You're going to have on one side the likes of the MTGs and the Boberts and the Jim Jordans and the very, the morally, financially, and ethically corrupt that are going to find themselves lost out in the cold. Those ilk, the Grassleys, the I was going to say Gates, but he's not even in there anymore. You know, those sorts, they're going to find themselves um, in I'm just going to say, a minority version of the GOP. So it is coming. It is part of this huge shake-up that's going on at the moment. Grit your teeth, have your sleep if you can, connect with your guides, get out into nature, connect with your community, and do what you need to do to get through because, as I said, it's intense where every day feels like a month. But it does mean that it will be over sooner. The band-aid is going to be ripped off, hair and all. Okay, love to you all. Take care.